my name is Greg and welcome to Puppet Zone episode 4. Today we're going to be looking at puppet costumes. Now, a lot of times when you buy puppets, the costumes are actually the body of the puppet. And so you can't remove the costume from these kinds of puppets, but you can put things over them. So you can change the look of this puppet without having to remove the shirt. You just put something over it. Other puppets, like this guy, this is a Bebop from Puppets Inc. And so his shirt actually is removable. He has a full body underneath it, and so you just pull the shirt off and you can put another one on there. A quick tip about putting shirts on puppets. What you want to do is take the body through the neck hole. You don't want to try to pull this over the head because their heads are too big. And so you're going to actually feed the puppet through the neck of the shirt and pull the arms through. It's just a whole lot easier that way, unless it buttons up or Velcros. Velcro is great for puppet costumes. So there are lots of things that you can do. You can buy puppet costumes already made. You can buy children's clothing. You can get somebody to make costumes for you using some altered children's patterns. And so we've done a few of each of those kind of things. Really what we use the most of are children's clothes. And so you can start with just a small child shirt. For a lot of upper-sized puppets, that doesn't make much sense. The bigger puppets, you can use a toddler 3 shirt. They fit that. But really all you got to do is find a shirt and kind of get an idea of what your puppet's going to be wearing. And so you can use plain shirts. You can get a variety of styles that come from any kind of store. If you want to create some kind of specialty shirt, you can do a variety of things. You can just use a marker and you can write on the shirt. That's probably the simplest way to do it. You could paint. You could paint on a shirt. There are different cloth paints, and so you can kind of create a character or whatnot just by painting it. And then another thing that you can do, if you have some kind of vinyl cutting machine, like Silhouettes or Crickets, or there's just several of them out there like that, you can actually cut vinyl and do some pretty intricate things. Now, I got in a hurry and I did not have my heat press at the time, and so I just used regular old vinyl like you would put on mugs or on walls or whatever. And so this is not real durable. We did an entire skit with it, and it's been hanging around on a rack for a long time, and it's still in good shape, but it is not a heat set. But if you have a heat press or even just an iron, you can get some heat set vinyl, some HTV, and it will actually be pressed into the shirt and it'll be like you bought it that way. And so you can do all kinds of things with vinyl. You can find clip art and pictures and all kinds of things. You can design your own ideas and then cut them out on your vinyl and create your own shirt. So I simply needed a suit or tuxedo kind of style shirt. And so we put it on a t-shirt and it worked great. And like I said, you really want to use some that's made for it, but you know what? If you don't have a heat source and you're in a hurry, you can print it out and stick it on there and it'll probably work for you. So there are a variety of things that you can dress your puppet in. Really, the sky's the limit, whatever you can find in your store. Your used clothes store, like Goodwill and thrift stores and those kind of things are great because you can find, you can find inexpensive costumes for your puppets. And so you can find all kinds of things. You can find sports team shirts, superheroes, whatever it is that you're needing your character to be. You can probably find a shirt like that. If not, you can make one. So lots of different things. And your homemade puppets shirts can be as fancy or as nice as you're able to make them. And if you sew, you can make them, or you can find somebody else that does that. We needed some rough Star Wars character robes, and so we had these made from somebody. Actually, I think my mom made this one. And so it's in pretty good shape, but it was just an inexpensive material that we had, and it was kind of roughly put together. Or you can find patterns. Now this was a set. It came with an adult size all the way down to small, and then this was modified a little bit to match it. So we had a large adult size drama set like this we had a child size, and then we had a puppet size. And so they all matched, they all looked the same. So we could change our character from adult to child to puppet, or we could have the puppet grow into a child, into an adult. And so just a variety of things. But this actually is made from painter's drop cloth. Yep, if you've ever bought drop cloth that you were going to buy to paint and you wanted something to cover your floor and you didn't want that plastic, this is kind of a cotton canvas of sorts. It's relatively inexpensive, and you get them in huge sheets, and we've done all kinds of things with them. But we also made costumes for puppets and for actors. And so there's a variety of things that you use for clothing. Most puppets, you don't even need pants. It's just going to be their upper body, and so shirts and jackets work. Vests are great. Velcro is your friend. Safety pins will help you kind of tighten things up to make them fit a little better. Let's see, some other things that you can do with puppets to get costumes. You can use different kinds of glasses. These are children's glasses. Let's see. And the great thing about puppets is, well, their heads are made out of foam, and so you can pin stuff on there if you need to. Those little T-pins that you probably used in science class, those work great. You just want to make sure they're not sticking so far and you're going to poke your hand with them. But so yeah, you can use children's glasses. Sometimes adult glasses work great. You can either use specialty kind of things. These are some science lab kind of glasses. Basically, we just tied the back of them to make the string a little bit smaller so it'd fit. And now we've got our puppet ready for construction or demolition or science project. And it all sets the tone with these little glasses. You don't always need the full costume. Sometimes it's just going to be, one element. It could be a hat to kind of give it the look. It can be kind of sailor. And you can find these in card and party stores and costume shops. You can order them off of Oriental Trading, different places. And so this is a skipper hat. Let's see. These are party favors. And so, yeah, this is a hard hat that you can use for a child's construction party. And so you can get tons of those for a relatively inexpensive price. This is a small child's cowboy hat. Those work great. You can also in toy stores find some costumes. We have an army set. We had a knight set. It's all plastic. It's all child size, and it's a little big for puppets, but you can make it work. It works out really well. Even things like paper crowns work really well. You just cut them, tape them, and size them up, and they do really well that way. And then any kind of accessories. You can put headbands and necklaces on them. Again, you can put stuff on them with with tape or with pins or Velcro, whatever you need to do. And so that's kind of a short run through on putting costumes on your puppets. If you have generic puppets, then you're never locked into a character. You can change them and make them fit whatever you need to do. And so I always recommend getting some generic people puppets if you're going to be doing skits with themes. And that way all you have to do is change their costumes. All right, well that's it for today. Thanks for joining us for the Puppet Zone, and we'll see you next time.